Today, local contractors gathered in Portland demanding payment for work they say they completed more than a year ago.
The dispute centers around the Maine International Cold Storage Facility along Portland's waterfront. News Center Maine's Alex Haskell is live outside the facility with more on what they're saying. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Amanda. Hey, Brian. So these contractors gathered to bring attention to what they describe as millions of dollars in outstanding payments. And they say that these delays in the payments have caused a significant strain on their businesses.
In 77 years of doing business, we've never seen anything like this.
Andy LeConte is the general manager of Mainline Fence. He says his company is still waiting on $60,000 for work it completed.
The general contractor has simply ignored our invoices and payment requests. This is unacceptable.
And he's not alone.
We followed the contract to the letter.
General Manager Mark Curtis of Gorham Sand and Gravel says he's owed about $1 million.
We did it professionally, we did it safely, we completed it on time, even though payment wasn't flowing.
Although these contractors say they're owed different amounts of money, they all worked on the same project, the Maine International Cold Storage Facility. Think of it as a massive, more than 100,000 square foot freezer that stores food, including seafood.
The facility is open, the rent is being collected, the economic development promises are being celebrated. The only people still waiting are the main contractors who built it.
Kelly Flagg, executive director of the Associated General Contractors of Maine, says many contractors are still waiting to be paid. She says the project's general contractor, FCL Builders, and the developer, Amber Infrastructure, each maintain the other is responsible for paying those bills.
Maine's businesses have been forced to draw on lines of credit, drain company reserves, and absorb significant financial hardship simply to meet their own obligations.
Several contractors say they have filed lawsuits in an effort to recover the money they're owed.
We'll be fighting for some legislation.
State Senator Brad Farron says he expects lawmakers to explore additional protections for contractors to help prevent similar disputes in the future. Meanwhile, many of these companies say they're still waiting for their money.
And if we don't receive that money, we can't do for our coworkers like we want to.
So after this press conference, we did reach out to the general contractor and the developer for comment, but we have not heard back yet. Brian.
Alex Haskell live for us in Portland tonight. Alex, thank you. Well, this month, there will be a couple of public hearings over Central Maine Power's proposed rate hikes. CMP made the request in April. The Maine Public Utilities Commission says CMP's proposal would increase the average residential customer's bill by about $18 a month if it's approved. CMP says the increase is necessary to fund storm costs and Maine's clean energy transition. So the next hearing is next Tuesday in South Portland. The commission's second is at the Lewiston Public Library. That's June 23rd.
Meeting for the first time today, the state's Data Center Advisory Council. Members will focus on the center's environmental impacts. They'll also look into the effects on energy and Maine ratepayers. Finally, the council will explore the economic or community benefits and what changes would be made to the workforce.
Electricity demand is already projected to increase in Maine and New England, and this is given because of the transition to cleaner energy sources and electrification. And this requires consideration of new energy supply, as well as considerations of how the grid can handle this increase.
Governor Mills created the council after vetoing a bill to enact a statewide data center moratorium. The council has until the end of January to submit a final report to the state legislature. Former state Senate president and Democratic candidate for governor Troy Jackson making his final push to get out the vote for next Tuesday's June 9th primary.
He is one of 5 Democrats competing for the party nomination. As Phil Hirschkorn reports tonight, Jackson's core message is that he will fight for working class Mainers.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Yeah, same here. No problem.
Right before their day shift, Troy Jackson met with South Portland-based UPS drivers who belong to the Teamsters Union. With 2,500 members in Maine, including 1,000 UPS drivers, it's one of many unions backing Jackson for governor.
But what we're trying to do, is have a mindset that everyday working class people deserve a seat at the table in state government. And that's something that I've been trying to do my entire life because that's who I am.
Before his 20 years in the state legislature representing Aroostook County, Jackson was a fifth-generation logger. Jackson telling the Teamsters Local he'd like to turn the Blaine House into a union hall where the governor fights for workers.
Working people are important. Working people deserve to have representation. And, you know, the wealthy and the powerful and the elite don't get to have their way all the time. I'm in.
This afternoon in Portland, Jackson pivoted to unveil his plan to regulate artificial intelligence, AI.
Technology should serve people, not rule them.
He would establish environmental standards for the water and energy demands of AI infrastructure, require new data centers to develop their own power sources, establish safeguards to restrict how much AI is used to replace workers, and create a task force to oversee the ethical implementation of AI in state government.
You know, we should welcome useful innovation, but we should draw hard lines where AI threatens jobs, and I will. Things like children, privacy, public accountability, community control, or basic human dignity have to be protected.
Jackson said we can't wait for Washington to regulate big tech, but he would partner with other states to manage AI, and he believes this is a policy area where Maine can lead. In Portland, Phil Hirschkorn for News Center Maine.
One Republican candidate for governor is responding now to criticism from Democrat Nirav Shah. Yesterday, Shah picked apart the plans of 3 Republican candidates, saying they highlight problems but offer no solutions. Well, today, Ben Midgley says he does have a detailed plan. The former Crunch franchising CEO pointed to his experience and promised to tackle issues with Maine's welfare system if elected. He says he will release his full plan when he moves into the general election.
In his state budget outline, Republican gubernatorial candidate Garrett Mason says he would write his own budget the moment he's in office. He says it would serve as an alternative to the one left by the Mills administration. Mason says he could cut $1 billion from the state budget immediately, and he believes his previous experience on the state Senate can help him make that possible. He also wants to see more scrutiny for the state's welfare system.